Welcome to Tales from the fucking Rift. This is Blaine, and
I'm Mo.
and today we have all the fucking members from VOID. You guys want to go ahead and introduce yourselves to the people listening?
What's up, man? I'm Jackson, lead vocalist.
What's up? I'm Aaron, play drums.
Alex, lead guitar.
Gabe, lead guitar.
Matthew, bass and backing vocals.
Fucking A, how you gentlemen doing today?
Good, man.
Good.
Thanks for coming over, man.
Excited to be here.
I'm just I'm really excited for y'all to be here, man. Like no shit. I was really excited to see that there was like another, maybe one of maybe 5 thrash metal bands in Lafayette alone, or maybe one of 5 thrash metal bands that that actually play shows that I know of.
Not
So
very many of them.
yeah. So and y'all being here is I'm digging it. So let's go back as it might be a short podcast. I don't know because y'all all so young. I'm not gonna hold that against y'all. But y'all play like some grown ass fucking men from what I've seen.
Thank you, man.
Yeah. I mean y'all got a lot of shit going on, sonically, and a lot of y'all influences are like glaring. So tell me, and Blaine, just how did it get started?
So it actually started with me and Matt, and then I knew him from school, like, mutually, and then we decided to hang out one day, and he's like, yo, I got a bass. I'm like, I got a guitar. Like, every band starts, like, just 2 friends just jamming, and then we were jamming with our other friend, Coda, and then my older brother was on drums, and it was just kind of like an idea, like a little side thing, and then after, like, we went through some lineup changes and started to get a little more serious about it, and then it kind of took off,
So Jackson, what music you were into that like really propelled you to get to that point where this is what I dig, and I want to do something with it?
A lot of Sabbath.
Yeah,
I was thrown on Sabbath when I was like 8 years old, just from my dad, and ever since then I just always loved heavy music, and I started getting to like Metallica and like all those bands, and something just clicked with me, and thrash metal. I love it so much ever since I listened to it for the first time.
What was like the first Sabbath song that you could remember listening to that just made you go, this is my shit?
It was Iron Man.
Okay.
That's the song that made me want to start playing guitar. I
Yeah.
heard it and I was like, this shit is sick.
That's
I
the
liked it a lot.
first song I learned on guitar.
Yep, me too. That was the first
Yep.
fucking song that I learned on guitar.
Iron Man first.
I would like to say that my first song was Iron Man, but it wasn't. It was the old 3-5 Deep Purple, Smoking the Water.
Man, I gotta say, y'all fucking rolled up to the house, and I had to like rub my eyes a second because I was like, wait, I had to fucking find a calendar. I'm like, are we back in the fucking 80s? What's going on? I'm like, dude, this is fucking cool.
Setting the trend.
I wanted to say that like when VOID was starting up, Jack really got me into a lot of other heavier music, because before that I wasn't listening to much metal in general, but he and Logan jammed Seek and Destroy, and admittedly I didn't know what that song was, but he got me into a lot of metal. So VOID in turn turned me into a metalhead and a better bass player in general.
Yeah. What were you listening to prior to meeting Jack?
I was listening to a lot of like, I guess like more mainstream kind of rock music. Like I listened to a lot of Nirvana, some Alice in Chains. I remember the first song I learned on bass was Seven Nation Army. That was a pretty simple one, but yeah, a lot of rock music, or like alt rock music, stuff like that.
And the stuff in the bands you just listed, I mean, they're heavy in their own right, man.
Yeah.
I mean, especially Alice in Chains.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know if y'all realize this, but like, it's actually Kurt Cobain's birthday today.
Yep.
And and the guy actually grew up on some heavy shit. Sabbath, y'all mentioned, and he credits Tom G. Warrior of Celtic Frost with a lot of like that motor punk style that Tom G had started back in like the early 80s. So yeah, don't even sweat it. But that's what influences are for, man. I mean, you get to take all the best pieces and put it into your own style.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So,
Of course, for sure.
so Matthew, what besides the early Metallica albums, what else are you interested in?
I love Sabbath, just like Jackson. Like, Geezer Butler is one of the greatest bass players of all time. I love Death. They're like in my top 5 bands, definitely. Steve DiGiorio is mind-blowingly amazing. I like Typo Negative. No one else in the band really likes him.
Fucking just shaking his head. He's like, no.
Testament is definitely my favorite thrash band, though.
But me and Matt we basically grew up just listening to Pantera.
Yeah, that
Love me
too.
some Pantera.
Pantera was great. Oh yeah, I saw you. You met Steve.
Yeah.
That's sick.
That dude's awesome, man.
So how do you gentlemen feel about the new Exodus that just came out?
Dude, I still haven't even listened to it. I haven't gotten around to listen to it.
I listened to a couple tracks from it. Persona non grata. That song is like I wasn't expecting that because I admittedly don't listen to a lot of Exodus. I mostly listen like the only album I listened to all the way through was Bonded by Blood.
Mm-hmm.
And when I heard the vocals coming, I was like, "Whoa, that's
Whoa."
different.
Yeah, see, I love Exodus, and like, I hate to say this, but like after Fabulous Disaster, like I just haven't really listened to anything because like it's like there's something about the '80s tones, like their voices and the guitars. It's just so raw and powerful, and I love it. So, I mean, I'm gonna get around to listening to some more stuff from Exodus, but like. It's like Bonded by Blood and Fabulous Disaster are just masterpieces.
I think that was the same album where they covered Lowrider, didn't they?
That cover is amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking epic. They have 2 other fucking albums that are really good. The Atrocity Exhibition, both A and B, exhibits A and B. Those are great because they have a different style and vocalist that's going for them. I don't think Sousa was on either of those albums. So they sound completely different. Those are 2 of my favorite albums.
A song on Fabulous Disaster called Cajun Hell. It is like the most cool-ass swamp song from a California band. And we want to write something like that. We have something brewing up. Me and Mr. Gabe over there.
We're writing Cajun Hell by actual Cajuns, and it's gonna be amazing.
Called Rugaroo.
Rugaroo. Yeah, I like that.
It's fucking A.
So the other members in the band, man, we spoke to Jackson and Matt. I want to hear about like Gabe. You're also sharing lead duties here. So, what's some of the things that you grew up on?
So, I come from a musical family. I'm
Okay.
the youngest of 5,
Okay.
and so I owe a lot to my dad and my brother and siblings and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because I grew up listening to like my brother really turned me on to Dio. Back when we would what's it called, pirate songs off of like these sketchy websites and download them to our iPod. My brother just put like 10 hours of Dio albums on my iPod, and I would just listen to that. So that was one of the like biggest things I first learned. But whenever my guitar playing really started kicking up, like in 8th grade, that's when I got serious about it. And so I started listening to like I learned about Yngwie Malmsteen, and that just like blew the door wide open for like my progress. And I just, yeah.
So who your brother plays guitar and
My brother plays guitar. My oldest sister plays guitar and sings, and then the other 2 do a little bit of music. But yeah, so it's been in my life pretty much the whole time.
So you didn't need any formal lessons from anyone else. The family taught you.
Well, I did. I took guitar lessons
did?
for a good like 6 or 7 years.
Oh, all right.
So it's been a journey, and now I'm here. Like me and Aaron, there's really 2 parts to how Void formed.
Yeah, I'm really interested in hearing that.
Me and Aaron, we met each other in high school, and we jammed all throughout high school. And then once we graduated, we kind of hooked up with Void once there was a need for a drummer and then another guitarist. And so made it happen.
Nice. How long you been playing drums, Aaron?
I've been playing for 8 years now.
Damn. Self-taught?
I had lessons for 3 years.
Wow.
Lessons in. Self-taught ever since.
So what propelled you to just like want to, get your own kit, start playing drums?
I can't really think of a distinct moment where I was just like, I want to play drums. It was something. Okay, so I don't come from a very musical family per se. Like nobody in my family plays musical instruments except for me. But my dad is like my inspiration because he's like the biggest music lover that I can think of. Like, he doesn't play any instruments. Like, he tells me all the time. He plays the radio. He don't play instruments.
I like
Plays
that.
the
I like
radio.
that.
He taught me basically everything I know about music.
Nice,
that
man.
isn't like about like instruments and stuff. I teach him about the instruments and stuff.
So,
I'm a nerd, but
so what was some of the bands that he put on, like gave you to listen to like from an early age that just kind of stick out in your mind?
so originally I wasn't a metalhead. I listened to a lot of rock, like 90s. Like Foo Fighters is my favorite band for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I still love the Foo Fighters. Like, Dave Grohl is like one of the best fucking drummers on the planet.
I agree with that.
And I saw him live, and man, these guys are awesome. And then I started listening to more metal. Like, me and Gabe, Gabe got me hooked onto hair metal and all that kind of music. And then slowly started getting back into heavier stuff because I liked Metallica and I liked Megadeth before, but I never really started listening to them until Gabe showed me some of that stuff again.
Yeah, it really all came together, the timing, because me and Aaron were in a band in high school, and we were playing all the school events and stuff and doing the talent shows. And I was like, bro, this is fun, but like we were playing hair metal, and like I was listening to a lot of that, but I was like, there's always this need to push it further.
Right.
Like, this can go heavier. And like we always wanted to start a metal band, and we were going to, but then it kind of meshed together with Void, and it just formed this.
It's funny how it worked out because like me and Matt had our own little thing going with. This was Void, like this was how Void started. It was just me and Matt, and we had our drummer Evan, and then we had picked up Alex. So it was basically a me, Matt, and Alex thing. And Gabe and Aaron were like mutual friends with us. Like they put another band like, yo, like that's our boys. And then I had hit up Aaron after our drummer left the band. I was like, hey man, and he's like, I don't want to be your drummer. I was like, okay, well, what are we gonna do? He's like, the only way I'm being your drummer is if Gabe comes with me.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, because I was on rhythm guitar and singing at the same time, and I was like, there's not gonna be 3 guitar players in our band because I wasn't getting rid of Alex either. I was like, that's gonna be a problem. Then he's like, look, let's just jam and see how it works. We could start a new band because like I didn't want this to be called Void because I was really skeptical at first. And then we all jammed, all of us, and something just clicked. Like it was the best that we've ever sounded. Like all the instruments came together so well, and like I really struggled not holding anything in my hands because I'm so used to having a guitar. So I took I took Aaron's mic stand and I dismembered it and I just made it like a little stick, kind of like Freddie Mercury.
Yeah.
And I just hold the stick like a guitar and sing just so I can grab something. And then I don't know, it all worked together, worked out so perfectly.
You probably do that thing that King Diamond does with Merciful Fate. He has that like that inverted bone cross mic stand that he wails.
You're like watching a fucking movie when you're watching those dudes.
Oh yeah.
That's crazy.
I remember the first song that we ever jammed was "Skin on My Teeth" by Megadeth. That was one of
From
the
Countdown
first songs.
Extension.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to play that religiously when it first came out. I think I was maybe 11, 12 years old.
It's a masterful musicianship.
Oh, yeah. Marty Freeman's a freaking monster, man. I mean, I could do a whole podcast on that dude.
I think Gabe can too, huh?
Bro, that guy is so good. I didn't even know. I knew the Marty Friedman before Megadeth because I was into this band. You know Cacophony?
Yep.
That was like Jason Becker and Marty Friedman. That is how I grew my chops, learning like their solo albums from that period.
Yeah.
And then them in Cacophony, that blew my mind. That was like Rush, because I loved Rush. That's like my dad's favorite band. And that stuff is like Rush, but the guitar is just cranked a million times.
Yep.
And it's just like, I love it.
We haven't heard too much from young Alex here. And so I'm just curious.
I think I saw Alex trying to say something. He was just like, fucking like he was dancing over in the corner for a second.
Alex is stick.
Before Void, I've never had any like person-to-person like musical experience. I've always just been like a bedroom guitarist up until Void. So I remember it was like March, it's like mid-March, and it was just a normal day. and this random guy I've never seen before just DM'd me.
Well, define a normal day.
He was like, "Hey, our guitarist just got kicked out. Would you want to be in a band?" And I'm like, oh, this must be some kind of spam. Then I looked, and it's like, it looked pretty legit, and I was like, oh shit, okay, maybe this is real. So
shit, okay, maybe.
Yeah, so it was, it was pretty. I honestly I never really like got around with like the local like School of Rock people. But like it was just so weird like seeing people who are like in the metal because there's so
you were just pretty much like few.
It is pretty few and far between. It's not that common.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's kind of crazy seeing like. Well, it's like people like coming out to our shows, and it's like all these people who like want to come see us. It's like, man, you really want to see these 5 doofuses play metal, Like, honestly, like like you hear a lot of bands say when they're young, like, oh, we just do it for fun, but that's really all it is, and that's really what it's about.
You mean you're not trying to get tits and ass?
Oh.
That's what it's all about.
That's what comes after having fun.
Now the truth comes out. See,
it's a part.
Now I want to get an answer from everybody. The first time that you all played live together, what was that feeling? But for each and every one of you, I want each of you to describe what that was like for you.
With me or Matt?
Starting with whoever feels the most eager to talk first.
So the first time like all 5 of us played, like it felt like, oh shit, this is like the real lineup. Like this is like it. And the beer garden show, that was probably one of the craziest shows we've ever played, and it was just incredibly fun. The stage was incredibly cramped though, but the crowd was crazy. Everyone was into it, and it was amazing. Like after Evan left, I was feeling a little skeptical myself about like where this is headed. But after that beer garden show, just like I felt so much better about everything, and it was an amazing performance.
So what about the beer garden that what made it so crazy? Was it just the crowd response, or
it was everything? It was the crowd. It was us. It was I don't know. It's just the whole atmosphere of the place just lit up.
It was a feeling that was like, this is our first show with all these new guys, and a little bit of people know us, so we'll see how it goes. And I remember asking each one of the members before, I was like, dude, you think people are going to show up? And they're like, oh, no. And then had like 150 people crowd in the beer garden, like just screaming. And we're like, dude, like these people love us. And it was like a magical feeling. Like it was the time that we set in, like, this is what I want to do. This is who I want to play with. Like it was amazing.
Yeah, it was pretty well received from the crowd. Like I'd never seen a mosh pit from the stage perspective before.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a first for me. It's pretty hilarious. Like I just remember laughing on stage because I just see these kids running around at each other.
Punching
and I'm
each
like,
other.
Holy shit.
The feeling of like, that you're playing and all of these people are reacting like this to the music that you're making in the moment is like, that's the craziest part, is that like you get the crowd going.
Yeah.
And it's a really good feeling, but I have to agree with Gabe. It is pretty funny as well. So
And I love seeing the smiles on people's faces because what it's all about is having fun and inspiring people. Like we get people that tell us nearly every day on social media, like, you guys inspired me to start a band. And like hearing that is just, it's because we're really young. Like we are probably younger than some of these people that have said that we inspire them. They're like, yo, like you music, like I have a band now because of you guys. And we're like it's one of the greatest.
that must be the wildest thing for you to hear.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Because like all these big bands that like we used to look up to, like
They started around the same age too.
Yeah, we're a band because of them, and like they went through what we're basically going through, and all these kids and older people as well. Just like, I'm in a band because of you. It's one of the best things to hear. It's really surreal.
Oh yeah.
What about for you? What was it like when you?
like for you,
What
Aaron?
was it like for you, Aaron?
So, as a drummer, I enjoy being the drummer because I get to sit backstage, do my own thing. You know, I'm not always in front because I'm really more of a introverted person. You know, I don't like to.
Can't see that.
Well, I don't like. I don't like to put myself up there as much. Like, well, I like to talk to people. I like to talk to people and all, but like I like to sit back and I like to do my own thing.
Right.
But whenever I played my drum solo, and just like people were like cheering for me, and it was just the coolest feeling ever. Just
You feel it in
doing-
your cossacks.
Yeah, I mean, dude, you're
doing what I love
you're
and-
setting the fucking tempo, dude. You're getting it all set up to how it needs to be. You know.
Should have heard him when he went out front for Seek and Destroy.
Okay, so
Our one train wreck at
Our
the
one
beer
train
garden.
yeah.
Everything else was tight.
Everything else was tight.
Basically, Jackson got on the drum set because Jackson plays a little bit of drums.
Uh-huh.
And
I had it perfect at rehearsal too. Something happened.
he just like stops playing in the middle.
That was so we had put Seek and Destroy on the set list, and like that's such like a
Such an
it's like
easy
it's,
song.
it's like
We
Enter
played
Sandman.
that
Like it's
song
like
a
if you
lot.
play Enter Sandman as a thrash metal band, but we were like, dude, why don't we switch instruments? Oh, that's a great idea. So we rehearsed it, and it sounded okay. Like I was getting all the fills on the drums and whatnot, and then it was time to play Seek and Destroy at the beer garden, and we were all pumped up. We're like, all right, this is gonna be fun. And Aaron got up, and me and Aaron switched, and everybody's like, uh-oh.
Yeah, so I was singing.
Yeah.
Aaron forgot to turn
That
his
was the first
microphone
mistake.
on.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
no. So I forgot half of the first verse, and then I forgot the first half of the second verse, and then my mic turned off whenever I finally remembered like what the lyrics were.
So, yeah.
and I had people in the front row telling me, like, trying to signal that I had the microphone. It was just
So yeah,
insane.
you could only
It was so loud.
you could only hear me doing backing vocals for like the chorus. So it's just instruments and then running, hiding.
And it was a train wreck because, like, if you saw a look at everybody's faces, I'm like, is this like supposed to be happening?
That was the craziest thing too. After the show, like I had my buddies come up to me and they were like, "Oh my gosh, bro, you killed that!" And I was like, "Yeah, I
dude.
destroyed the song."
Fucking.
Fucking killed it.
Now, as far as drums go, though, I know you said that you've had prior, practice in your years before you started. What's some of the difficult challenges you faced as like a drummer with keeping tempo? Are you more of a groove kind of a person, or are you by the numbers kind of a person?
What do you mean by the numbers?
Like, do you count like when you like?
Oh, of course I don't. I play by feel.
You play by feel,
I
okay?
play by feel.
Because
I
some
like-
people are by numbers. Like some people that are like really shreddy on guitar will just be like 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3
Yeah,
4.
so that's Gabe.
Yeah,
I don't count.
And then,
I don't count.
but just do it because it's just fun.
It's just fun.
It's just fun.
Did you find that it was easy to get a hang of, or
I think so.
yeah, it kind of just came
there's
naturally to you?
challenges here and there because I went through a little prog metal phase where I used to like rewind Animals as Leaders like every day trying to figure because Matt Gartzka is an incredible drummer. I used to sit there and try to learn all of his little parts and all his little fills. Dude's an incredible drummer.
Fuck
And
yeah,
that's how I got my chops.
sick man. Hell yeah.
So who starts off the set list? Do y'all come together as a group, or like whoever's the band leader, like Jackson's like, hey, like this is how we're gonna fucking do it?
Well,
You're pretty much the front man though.
yes,
Yeah.
I like to think that I run shit.
Oh.
Until Aaron and Gabe
He
came
likes
in
to
the
think
band.
that.
He still thinks that.
See, I was so used to that, and Aaron and Gabe came in, and I was like, okay.
Oh my god, spotlight.
Yeah, no. We started like jamming with like Aaron and Gabe and talking about shows. I'm like, who are these guys? They don't get to tell me what we're gonna do. And I started to understand like, okay, these guys are serious. Let me listen to them sometimes. But it
Sometimes.
it really depends on the show. Like right now, like our current shows, we're opening it up with our single "Welcome" that we dropped. It was the first single we dropped. It was like a little 1 minute 30-second track, just instrumental. We open it with that. And at the beer garden, we actually found this I found this really deep cut old record that had like 30 views from like 1971. It's just like a creepy little piano song that sounds like the Goosebumps theme kind of. I was like, that's cool. So we played that over the PAs, and the second everybody heard the track, everybody rushed to the front of the stage, and like we slowly walked on. It was pretty cool. But as of right now, we're opening with Welcome, then we go into our first song, which is whatever we're playing. Then I introduce everybody after the first song.
So what's a typical set list like when y'all play?
And right now, we're still a very new band, like, together, so we do covers and stuff. Like, we play originals, but we're doing covers. And after the show that we're having this weekend, I was telling them, like, let's, like, get a shit ton of songs down. Because I told them, I was like, I can't wait for the day where we play all originals and a cover.
Yeah.
Not all covers and a few originals, you know.
So you mentioned y'all play Seek and Destroy out there. And what are like the I guess the go-to covers for y'all to just like as a group y'all feel like y'all like tight as fuck?
Okay, Indians by Anthrax.
I love that song.
Hangar 18. We actually don't play Seek and Destroy anymore after that train wreck. We're we never putting it on the set list again. It's like PTSD when we think about the song. But yeah, you gotta say Indians by Anthrax. That one always sounds amazing. And Hangar 18. I mean, Holy Wars by Megadeth. Like, there's just, like, a select few songs that are always on our sets that we're never taking these songs off. As much as we beat them to death and get tired of them, they sound tight.
Yeah.
Which is probably Indians by Anthrax. It's probably
it's our favorite song to play.
It's our crowd's favorite song, too.
Cool. I mean, I fucking love Anthrax, man. And when you said Indians, I was like, oh, dude.
Yeah, Anthrax is awesome.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to see y'all, but I freaking live through the audience vicariously through social media. A lot of guys had put y'all they do Instagram live and like just film y'all, and I was like, dude, y'all are fucking good. Like the songs that y'all tend to cover, I mean, y'all got them down to science at this point. I mean, it's really, really
thank you, man.
Fresh take on some old classics. That's the best way I could put it.
Yeah, and that's like my dad tells me every time like he comes see us, and he's like, you can't go anywheres in Lafayette and see a band playing what we play. Like, we are playing such a specific set of songs and like a genre that no one else is doing around here, really, that it's cool.
Yeah,
that we get to do this.
I'm a metal enthusiast. That's why I put this thing together. Well, we put this thing together.
Yeah, of course.
And I mean, thrash is very much a part of my history. I know it is a part of Blaine's history as well. I mean, without things like a Megadeth or Metallica or Anthrax, man, there would be so many bands that would just fall off the map. So
what's really cool right now is that there's in like mainstream media, there's like this really big 80s comeback.
Oh, yeah.
You know, if you notice, like as soon as like Stranger Things came out, like people just like started loving 80s stuff. So I think like we all just hit the sweet spot, like with people starting to really like 80s stuff again, you know? So what's funny is that like, you know,
Steel Panther's the shit, man.
Yeah.
Satchel.
It's like I remember people like thinking I was weird in like middle school for liking metal, and then it's like now that it's like paid off that we have like this band, and it's like, you know, I don't know.
People nowadays, you eat a bagel on a Tuesday and they think you're fucking weird. So it doesn't really matter.
You should have saw me living in Delcom, Louisiana.
Oh, I could believe it.
I mean, I was like maybe one of maybe 5, 10 at most metalheads growing up. You talking about people look at you weird? Dude, well, I was the epitome of that in my hometown.
It's a really great thing that it's coming back, though.
Oh, yeah.
It's like history that really can't be forgotten. You know? You can't forget this music.
It's pretty unique because you don't see it that often anymore. Like growing up, like I have very select few friends that are into metal, and they're few and far between. There's not very many of them. But for a group like you gentlemen to all get together and to do something kind of like when nobody's really doing, it's fucking tight.
Yeah.
Now, as far as all that goes, with the management of the band, who would you say out of all of you guys takes care of the most stuff, like as far as setting up shows and all that shit?
Jackson.
That would be me. No, it's like I have this saying, and I talk about it all the time. It's make your band a business. Nobody's gonna remember a band that just plays at the club every Saturday. You want to be a business as well as performers more than musicians. See, if you're a good musician, that's one thing, but you have to learn how to perform on stage. And what we like to do is we like to get our crowd involved a lot. So a lot of times, if I notice that somebody in the audience, like, the song that we're playing, I'll give them a microphone. Or Matt will stick his bass out in the crowd, let him play. Last show, Alex ran through the crowd. He had his little wireless on. He jumped off stage, ran through the crowd, and everybody was going crazy. But, like, on the taking care of stuff aspect, like, you want your followers or your fans or your whatever, you want them to be in it as much as you are. Like, you want to interact with them. That's why we post on Instagram so much. Like, I've had somebody in a local band ask me, like, why do you post so much on Instagram? And I'm like, look at our following compared to yours.
Right.
Like, not to be an asshole, but you don't want to bore your fans. We post on our story at least once a week, like, yo, ask us questions and we'll answer them, or what's a song that you like, we'll review it. And hundreds of people slide up on that stuff. Like, we get we can't answer them all, which sucks because it gets tiring just scrolling through everything. But it's like, you want to be really active, not just as a band and on stage, but as people running a business, It's the best way I could put that.
Yeah, for the community.
And if you treat your fans really good, they're going to want to come back and, buy your merch and be like, this band is really awesome. They treat their fans great. Without fans, you're nothing.
You're exactly right.
So you just got to treat them right. When they give you that attention, it's really special,
Yeah, because there have been a few moments where I met some musical heroes of my own, and like, some were awesome to meet, some were awesome to talk to, the others not so much. And I was like, I was like, you know what? It's a good thing I don't put all my eggs in like your political basket, or if that's or if, because talking to them, and just hear what they're about, like, the music comes first, so your personality comes second.
And naturally, people are going to come to like you guys regardless. But as long as y'all enjoy what y'all are doing, that's all that matters, regardless of if you have a fan following or not. You got to enjoy your own creations and what you're capable of. And naturally, fans will follow suit, but interacting with them for sure is definitely going to bring you guys a lot of positive reinforcement and help with the band too. So, it's a pleasure to have all you guys here today, like, for real.
Thanks, Dad.
Glad to be here.
You're welcome. I love you, son.
Enjoying it. It's exciting.
So what are y'all digging? What kind of music y'all digging into these days? Anyone who wants to go first?
Stevie Wonder.
Jazz.
Opeth.
Opeth.
Oh, Sam came through.
We've been interrupted.
We got infiltrated by Sam.
But yeah, like, I love playing thrash metal, but I've come to this point where, like, I don't even really listen to thrash metal, like, on my own. Like, I've heard it all, like, and like, it's amazing music, and there's always something that you haven't heard that I'm gonna discover down the line. But like, I actually, believe it or not, I love old school East Coast rap.
Yeah,
I love Tribe Called Quest, like Wu-Tang Clan, like, I love stuff like that, and like, I'll listen to that like whenever I'm listening to music. I also really love hair metal. All my Houston friends out there in the thrash scene, fuck you. I like hair metal.
Fuck you.
I love the Scorpions. I love
Scorpions.
Hey man, go to a Steel Panther show. That's where all the ladies are.
I would love to go to a Steel Panther show, dude. Like,
He'd much
the
rather
closest
come
thing
to
we got
a
is
LA Rock
Rocks.
show.
LA Rocks is Steel Panther.
My dad said he went like one time, and he said, dude, he's like, I wish you'd have just quit work. He said, I wish you'd have just gotten fired and come with me. He's like, it was awesome.
I don't think I'd mentioned this, but me and Gabe's band, we played hair metal.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we played hair
Well, I think it's important. Like, we're moving to more originals. Like, that's our next step. Like, we're going to keep playing live, but we want to work on an album, get it released. But I think a very important thing to have original sounding music is to not listen to what's already been done.
Yeah.
Like, and I find myself, like, if I'm really into Anthrax, I'm going to start writing what I like to hear, and that's Anthrax. So now I got this song that sounds kind of like something, but it's like, back in the day, that's not what those guys did. They listened to like
all kind of shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So like that's why I love like went through such a big classical phase, and I still love classical music and jazz. I'm getting into now, and it's just like anything I hear, it's just
you like the jazz flute.
Yeah, and when that shit was coming out back then, you didn't know it was coming out. It just it was just there. It
happened.
You know,
and I think another big thing is back then, like I've heard so much more music than they did back then because we have the internet, which you go on YouTube and you can find anything.
Yeah,
and it's just
it's definitely
like they were very limited to what they had at a record store back then. So, no.
Yeah, like not all of us like I have a friend Jorge. I love you, Jorge. But Jorge listens to so much thrash metal that like he was showing me his Spotify when he came down to Lafayette for our show. He's from Houston, and he was showing me a Spotify account. He's like, dude, check out these playlists I have, and it starts at 1982 and goes to like 1996, and the first playlist is like 1982 thrash metal. It's like 9 hours long. Next one's 1983 thrash metal, all the way up, dude. I'm like, how do you listen to so much thrash, man? And like, I love thrash, but like, I love like death metal. I love Gojira, love Gojira. Like the old school 80s death metal, like the raw stuff. Like I like to listen to that kind of stuff.
You ever listen to Pestilence at all?
I do, dude. I love Pestilence. Yeah, they're like kind of death thrash, huh?
Yeah. Pretty cool.
All their old little demo tapes and stuff are so good, man.
I apologize for my cute boy Sam over there. He's
so pretty.
He's just going ham on the bed.
He's excited.
He really is excited. He's like, there's so many people in this room. It's great.
But yeah, you had mentioned Death earlier, and it just made me think, dude. I think one of the coolest things that Death ever did. I really enjoy the Human album, and I like Lack of Comprehension. As far as covers go, Death did a cover of Painkiller. It's fucking awesome.
Dude, their cover of Painkiller,
the original's
so
better.
good.
Yeah, I think the original holds true. I just think it's fucking awesome for what it is.
Oh yeah, and the same album they covered God of Thunder by Kiss too, and I was like, man, these two just magnificent fucking covers by Chuck. It just goes to show you just like what kind of musician he was.
Executed very, very well.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
A lot of stuff that just like inspires us and like brings us together. Like it's obviously thrash and like the old school scene in the Bay Area. Like when Exodus started playing at like Rudy's and Metallica started getting bigger. All these big thrash metal bands that you see like nowadays all grew up into the same stuff together.
Yep.
Like they all got big, and there's not a huge scene down here, but we're trying to get more involved with the Houston scene because they have this scene out there called Gulf Coast Thrash.
Yeah.
And we became friends with all of these dudes. Like there's bands, Exidium, Lunatics, Labyrinth, which is a brand new band. They're really killer. What else is there? Half Pipes, Dirge. We're playing a show with all of those guys Saturday, and we're really, really, really excited because.
And where's that going to be at?
This is going to be in Houston, Texas, at this venue called Trip 6.
Go check them out.
Saturday night, man. It's going to, hopefully, we can start playing in Houston a lot more so we can build, like, a bigger
following.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Not even just a following, but a following for sure, but, like a big family of people who like the same stuff that we do, like, people we can get along and relate to. And I love all those boys out there in Houston so much. I'm sure we all do. Like, Jorge... We love some Jorge, right, Gabe?
Gabe's just like looking over like...
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, we actually met them because before we played the beer garden, Kyle, the singer for Exidium, he was like, hey, man, my name's Kyle from a band called Exidium in Houston. When's the next time that y'all play in Lafayette so we can go and see y'all? And I was like, when's the next time y'all play in Houston? And he's like, tomorrow. And I was like, we're going. So me and Matt, we went to Houston the next day, and we watched them. And, like, we're like, people actually come out to this stuff. Like, it's not like Lafayette over there. Like, people actually like this. And the scene is just so much bigger. So they came down to Lafayette for the beer garden show, and they watched us, and we all just clicked. And I can't wait to go over there this weekend and meet all the other dudes, man. There's some really good musicians that they have out there.
Being that, Lafayette's, we're not nearly as big as Houston, and we got, a select venues that will, cater to the metal crowd. And
There's not a lot.
there's not a lot.
It's really not.
It's not a lot. And, and hopefully that changes soon, and
Because you need to get Lafayette metal again, man. We need to get everybody kicking and
Also,
shit again.
doesn't help that we're banned from one of them.
Yeah. Won't say nothing about that, though.
yeah.
But I was happy that we could get into the Grouse Room because that was a big deal because that's not really a metal venue.
Right.
Like, we had to kind of shimmy our way in there, which, I mean, I knew the guys there through LA Rocks, having that connection, which helped. And, yeah, it was fun, though, because that's a really nice venue compared to some of the other metal venues in Lafayette.
Has COVID for you boys presented a lot of struggle for just the band in general?
Not really.
No?
That kind of happened before we started gigging. Like, our first show was fall of last year.
Okay. So y'all didn't really have too many problems with that. Well, that's good.
Yeah. Thankfully.
Thankfully.
So how much time y'all think y'all average spending together during the week? Like, practicing or just hanging out?
I'm always with one of them. Yeah. I'm like a leech. I'm always up one of their asses.
Yeah, we hang out a lot
phrasing.
more than we practice.
Yeah, Jackson is either at my house or he's at Aaron's house.
Or Gabe's.
Or Gabe's.
I'm so ADHD that, like, I get home from school, I'm like, I want to go see one of my boys. And I hit up, I'm like, can I come hang out? No? Aaron, can I come hang out? No? Fuck. And then I just go to Max. Like, I'm always with them. Always with them. Even if we're not doing anything musical, like, it's good to have bandmates that I'm really close to.
Right.
Because then it could just, like, no matter how much we argue, it doesn't really matter. Because, like, I'm really close with these guys. Like, I view all these guys as, like, my best friends. So it's really nice having a good connection with them outside of music.
Yeah, because, that's kind of like the downfall of a lot of bands. Some guys just come in with some like-minded musical influences, and that's about it. Like maybe the friendship doesn't start. Maybe there's friendship somewhat, but the tighter you're all as a group, and everyone has the same purpose, the same motivation to keep going and just hang out. Shit, man, that's what makes it special. That's what makes it keep going.
And those cool times, speaking of like influence and things like that, for you guys, have y'all had any incidents that's inspired, or not incidents, but events, whether it be out in public, hanging out, whatever, that's maybe inspired, that's not music related, that's inspired a riff, a vocal lyric, a drum beat, or, some fucking slap in the bass, you know what I mean? Like, so
I always, whenever I'm having conversations with people, like, I'm watching out if they say a word or like a phrase that I hear, and I'm like, ooh, that's a song title. Because, like, Aaron was driving his car one day, and it's definitely a song already. I just know it because it's so good that it has to be a song. But he was driving his car, and he put his blinker on, and he was going straight. And I don't know what he was doing, but he was like, "Oh, it's a Force of Habit," and I was like, "Force of Habit."
That's a good title.
Leaked Void title on the podcast.
Yeah,
exclusive.
And, he's just being
one time, I was just scrolling through Instagram, and I see a picture of Phil Anselmo, and I noticed a tattoo on his arm, and I'm like, that would make a great, like, chorus. I forgot what the tattoo said exactly.
Was it the Body and Blood?
Yeah, it was that. And I was like, that sounds sick. So I wrote it down, and we'll probably use it someday.
Probably try to incorporate that in some lyrics.
It's By the way, Force of Habit is an Exodus song.
Just be... damn.
There's no way.
Oh, fuck.
There's no way.
No, he just showed me Spotify.
Aaron just fact checked it.
What year? What year? If it's in the 90s, it doesn't count.
Yeah. Wait, that's not how that works. That's good shit.
Do we play any 90s songs? At all?
Rest in Peace.
I forgot. Rest in Peace. Yeah. That is an 80s album that came out in the 90s.
Exactly.
Now I can say that if I see any one of you guys in the fucking grocery store sweating over a fucking bag of apples, I won't have to worry. I'll just keep walking.
Yeah.
This is, greatness in the making. I'm going to go this way now.
So what's currently on your playlist right now? What's the last song y'all heard on the phone? Starting with Jackson.
Oh man,
Let's check that out.
With Aaron first. He got it.
Okay, Aaron, go ahead. You got your phone out.
Mine is this is my favorite song right now. It's Five Magics by Megadeth.
Nice.
Fucking A.
And I'm really getting into Havoc. Love Havoc. And like one of my most listened to songs right now is "Still Loving You" by the Scorpions. It's just it's a great ballad. That and just Havoc, two completely different types of music, but they're just so great.
Love Chasing the Edge. That shit's awesome. Great
For
shit.
me, it's Rush. I've been on another Rush kick recently. Just like I love the prog, and like they have 17-minute songs, but they're so engaging that it's like I love it.
You hear that, Reese? They're engaging.
For me, I've been listening to a lot of Testament and Opeth. Like, I remember with Opeth, Jackson showed me the song Sorceress. He was like, I don't listen to these guys. I'm not really into them, but this song is kind of funky. So I just started listening to Opeth, and I was like, God damn.
Matt's album reviews.
Yeah, I post little album reviews on my stories. I know no one looks at them, but
I actually do. Actually, yeah, I took offense to one of them.
Oh,
I need to have words with you right now. Because you were
Which
like
one?
you were saying that Mayhem was a trash band.
They are.
No, they're not.
I will die on that hill.
Mayhem was a huge musical turning point.
Yeah, they were very influential music wise. No.
Like my favorite Mayhem, like I'm not a big Mayhem fan. Like they're not like they're
Not with attitude.
Well, have you heard From the Dark Past?
Mm-hmm.
That riff is so good. That riff actually inspired me to write a lot of other riffs. And like I'm not a big black metal guy.
Yeah.
But that riff from the Dark Past is amazing. I don't know what it is about it. It's just so catchy. It's like swingy. It's so good.
I need to get back to Matthew about this.
Oh God, he's like ready to fucking attack at this point. It's like sweating.
I just want to hear. Your take on like the first two albums by Mayhem. Like what exactly that you don't enjoy about it?
Well, it's black metal itself. it's just not for me really. And with Mayhem, like it feels so just, I don't know. It just doesn't click together in my head.
Mm-hmm.
And also the production on those albums are
raw. They're intended to be
too raw.
It's very raw.
Yeah, it's that was the whole point of black metal, is to go against everything that was like at the time being polished and like overproduced. Like they didn't want to have the same sound as like like Death and things coming out of the Mars Sound recording studio. So they went against the grain purposely.
Yeah,
and put more of their like the feelings of negativity, emptiness, lack of hope, all of that stuff into that.
I think Death Crush is a great album though.
And
it is.
Another thing about like black metal in general is one of my friends, Julian, he showed me a song by Emperor, and I was like, whoa. Because all the black metal that I heard, I just didn't really like.
Yeah.
But he showed me the song by
It's
Emperor,
not for
and I was
everyone.
like, God damn, this kind of slaps.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I've been trying to expand my music in all directions, and black metal is one I've touched the least. Right now, I'm really into prog metal with like Opeth and stuff. Like a lot of their bass playing, and like I'm of course attracted to bass playing in songs.
Yeah,
and theirs is absolutely like top notch in my opinion. And same thing with Testament. That's why I've been listening to them a lot. Like. Especially with their mixing, even though the bass sounds like a rubber band, you can still hear it very well.
Right.
And whenever I hear bass in an album not buried under guitars, I'm like, let's go. But like Testament and Opeth, just all the members having like that technicality and stuff really attracts that to me, because it shows these guys are great ass musicians.
Yeah. Hey man, look, this music is left to every individual to interpret the way it does.
Yeah,
and I'm not gonna knock your opinion. I just want to hear your stance on it. That's all.
Yeah.
I love Opeth. As far as prog metal is concerned, I think like the heavy hitters, like King Crimson, fucking Yes, Pink Floyd, of course. They were, they had some prog elements to it. But I totally understand. One when Gabe mentioned a huge Rush fan, as am I.
Right now, I like a lot of 70s music, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
Like, my favorite albums right now are Inner Visions and Talking Book by Stevie Wonder. I really like groove and funk.
Yeah.
And, like, those albums are, like, it's, like, the perfect combination of, like, gospel, soul, funk, and groove, where it's, like, you could just listen to the whole thing and you get everything.
What's some other, like, funk metal bands that you're into?
I don't really know any funk metal,
dude.
But like I've heard there's a lot.
Like Extreme and
this is gonna be a.
If Extreme is a funk band, then I really like Extreme.
Well, this is gonna be a suggestion for both of y'all. I know you play bass, but Jaco Pastorius.
Okay, yeah, I love Jocko.
That's Matt's grandpa.
That was an inside joke with us because whenever I first started hanging out with Jackson, I told stories about my grandpa, or I would talk about Jocko.
Jocko's Matt's grandpa.
Yeah, therefore that was born. But
that was the only two words that Matt knew: grandpa and Jocko.
Yeah, and Jocko, he I don't listen to a lot of jazz in general, but whenever I do, it's like I'll usually turn to that. And it blows my mind that just like people can be this good.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, damn, I kind of suck.
Yeah. You watched a documentary on him that Robert Trujillo had produced?
I haven't yet.
But, it is so good.
I saw some stuff about
it. It is so good. Like, man, I didn't, I knew that he was a phenomenal bass player, but what he went through as a man, the surrounding factors that played into his death, and it was just incredible story. And the dude had so much talent. I mean, it was just evident.
Yeah.
But he had a lot of like good records, man. That was like all into funk and like a lot of groove. The musicianship between the guys that he was in the studio with, fucking second to none, dude.
Yeah,
you need to check that out.
Yeah, and then. I've been pretty busy, so I haven't had too much time listening to music. But there's this West Coast group of like musicians called Zapp and Roger, and it's just like 80s like dance music, but it's not like disco. It's like funk, and it's like synthesizer, like drum machine. It's like this guy, Roger Troutman, and he has a synthesizer and he has a talk box on it, and he's like a freaking wizard with that. It's like really catchy.
That's fucking awesome.
So
I'll check that out.
Yeah, it's really cool. When I'm at school, I tend to listen to classical. I really like classical. I'm a really big Doors fan.
Yeah?
Yeah. That's like the earliest music I got onto.
Same here.
So like I remember like when I was really young, my dad would play Doors when he was studying or doing work in his office, and I would just hear that. And I got hooked on that a couple years ago, and I still listen to them every now and then. But they're all like, what's great about them is that they're all like different styles.
Oh yeah,
like Robbie's a flamenco guitarist,
and you got John Densmore, who was more of a bossa nova type of guy with the drums.
He was great, and then Ray Manzarek, like super talent, like amazing,
classically
keyboard.
Trained.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then Morrison being Morrison.
Yeah. Poet extraordinaire, but love to booze.
Yeah. And then I like basically every kind of metal, really, unless it's like past Y2K.
Right.
But anything before that, I love it.
And Gojira got some really good stuff past Y2K. I'm
a
huge Gojira fan.
That's true.
How'd you like their new album?
It was good.
I like that.
Anticlimactic.
I like their older stuff.
Me too.
But I did want to mention something because it just kind of came to my head. It isn't really a question, more of like, a cool idea. Now with y'all predominantly liking a lot more older stuff, and with being in Louisiana, and obviously it's this time of year where Mardi Gras is going on. Dude, if you guys really wanted to, with the way that you guys dress and everything, if y'all wanted to get like a fucking float, y'all could get like a float and seriously hook some shit up and be on top of the float and dress up like fucking like a bunch of 80s dudes, play some of y'all's shit, play a couple covers, and then have some people throwing out y'all's fucking albums to other people.
They're dressed for the part right now.
I talked about that same exact thing last night.
Y'all could literally, like, that would get y'all's, I mean, y'all probably be shelling out a lot of fucking albums that cost a lot, but I mean, shit,
Like,
dude.
hey, exposure's exposure.
It would fucking help.
Or just like make a cup.
We could
And
shoot
in the-
out
in the cup.
business cards.
Exactly.
Yeah.
With the scan code.
Exactly.
Yeah. And you know, you
Everybody
would
loves
have,
them cups,
dude, you'd
man.
have
Everyone
all,
would scope.
you'd have all the moms going, ooh, and all the old dads going, yeah.
Yeah, I know. We were at
be
the
awesome.
Rio parade last night, and I was like, dude, what if we had like a shitty trailer with all of our shit set up on it, and we just played?
Now I don't know how difficult it would be to get in the parade
Oh, I'm
route.
sure it's especially Rio. And
A lot of money.
I think Max was like, dude,
But if y'all could do it, man, I mean, I'm sure with it not being like super, super, super fucking extreme, that, you know, it could probably pass, and they'd probably look on it as like, you know, like, oh yeah, this is some old school shit.
Right.
Yeah, so it's definitely possible. I think that'd be something cool.
And we could be on the trailer too and like give the play-by-play.
Yeah.
You know, when they're in between songs. You know, have a live stream broadcast. Be kind of cool.
Yeah, it would be tight.
Maybe next year.
Maybe, you know, all their parents be like, they cuss a lot.
They cuss a lot. And this is y'all's actual first podcast doing something like this, or
it's our first podcast. We had a Zoom interview, and it sucked.
it sucked?
It was for a magazine. It's like metal magazine, and you know the '80s band Toxic with the K. We're on that magazine with them, and it was this like girl interviewing us, and we got the magazine copy back, and they quoted us so wrong, and we were just like, it was like a slap in the face, because one of the questions she asked, she was like, "What is one of y'all's biggest milestones or accomplishments as a band?" And Matt was like, "I don't know, probably like playing a big party or playing shows." And I was like, honestly, just making a relationship with all these guys and like becoming so close. And then we got the magazine back, and she was like, I asked them what their biggest accomplishment was, and then somebody, I forgot who she quoted, but she basically was like, "Yeah, our biggest accomplishment was like blowing up on TikTok," and I was like,
Oh,
What?
dude, that's what.
I remember you telling me that, Jackson, on Instagram. I was like, yeah, I was like, we're not gonna have any of that over here, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
I would be steaming.
I'm glad this is like, I want to do like recorded stuff from now on, because like after she quoted us like that, it was just like a slap in the face. We're like,
And
damn.
they thought we were from Los Angeles.
Oh yeah.
oh, that LA, huh?
We specified that it was
Oh, yeah.
Louisiana like 5 times, and she put in the magazine, "These guys are from LA, from Los Angeles." And we're like, dude.
Fuck.
Yeah, so did those British guys that played our single on their radio. They were like,
That was kind of our fault, though.
yeah, it was because we put L.A. and most people when they see L.A. they think Los Angeles.
We put Lafayette, LA. It'd be different if we just put Void, LA.
Void.
That's
LA.
what I want to ask. I want to ask. Yeah, just reminded me. So, who thought of the name Void?
Oh, that was me. I got it from the manga series Berserk by Kentaro Miura. One of the characters was named Void, and I was like, that sounds cool. I presented it to Jackson. and he was
unfinished.
like,
And we were big into Black
Unfinished.
Sabbath at that time, so we were like Void, like we were really big into Sabbath, and like I remember I put like our first little logo together, and it was like a blatant ripoff of Sabbath's purple Master
yeah.
Reality logo.
Yeah.
It was like a little wavy void. It was bright purple, and we're like, that's sick. And then like looking back, it was so bad. It was horrible.
It's nothing. I mean, it's paying homage to the Sabbath, man.
Yeah, no,
There's
it
nothing
definitely
wrong
is.
with
And,
that.
like, we were covering a lot of Sabbath, and now like we just found like our own kind of sound. And I remember in art class last year, I after we had the name Void, I failed a test. No, it was math class. I failed a math test. I gave back my paper, and then I was just looking at it. I was like, damn. And then I just started drawing the word Void everywhere on the back of the paper until we found our logo. I was like, that's sick. Like, and then I sent it to our old group chat, and I was like, hey, y'all like this? I want to digitize it. So that's how our logo came. Our logo's been that ever since. And we have like the little spiky death metal looking logo that them two don't like. Our fuzzy logo.
He's like, no.
That logo is cool.
it is cool.
But yeah, the name Void, it's like,
He's like, I'm gonna grab this now.
It's cheesy.
no, it's
Can I see it?
It's really
Oh, dude, no, I love it. I love it.
I'm gonna check it out.
But yeah, you were saying that you got the inspiration from Berserk, like the comic.
Yeah, I did. So like, I think first I suggested the name God Hand, and they were like, no, and I was like Void, and they were like, yeah.
Yes.
Our names before,
wow.
our names before Void were Death Toll.
That's the one
Jack
that
came up with that one, and then there was Outbreak.
That sounds so
but then
familiar. It sounds
COVID
like
hit, so we wanted to change it after that.
I know, right? Thank you. They hate it.
Okay, like Gabe said, I just think it's kind of cheesy.
It's for special occasions.
Yeah.
This is how a lot of things go with this band, though. There's very much, like, we have to have some disagreements, otherwise this would be chaos.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
we
yeah,
have a good active disagreement in the band.
well, there's
but
good there's good diversity
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
You know,
That's what it is.
It's what makes the band what it is. You know, as long as it's not like something that's breaking the band apart. You know.
Yeah.
Rather, just instead bringing it together. I mean, I feel like if you guys can butt heads and still be friends afterwards, then that's obviously, a good sign.
Where's your design, Gabriel?
My design?
Yeah.
I designed the music.
I designed the music. Jackson looked like he did not enjoy that statement at all. He was like, God, that fucking asshole.
I gotta say, Gabe's back probably hurts. Gabe's back probably hurts and makes my brain hurt. But no, like, we talk about a lot. We're like, dude, I wish that we had a different name before, like, we made a name for ourselves. Because, like, they're wanting to change our Spotify account so to where it just says Void, but then we lose all those numbers. And I was like, it's not about the numbers, but they're cool to look at,
They're cool to look at.
Like, our first single, we got almost 30,000 streams in under a month. Like, and, like, I get it. Like, before we drop anything else and become, like, really serious about this, we can't be calling ourselves Void Lafayette, or like we call ourselves Void, and like people that don't know us are like, oh dude, that Void Lafayette band, like there's nothing we can do about it. Like we can't tell each and every person, hey, it's Void.
It's Void.
So we talked about it yesterday, and we're most likely gonna have to change it sooner than later just to Void, but we're gonna have to pretty much climb up the steps again.
It's better to do it now, though, while we're all teenagers.
Are y'all all teenagers?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought someone was 21 or something like that. I heard wrong.
The two babies are 18. Two youngest looking ones.
Which ones do you think are the youngest?
The youngest ones? I'm thinking Jackson and Matt.
That's true. And we look like the oldest ones. Oh, no, Alex looks like.
Everybody's looking around. It's like that fucking Spider-Man meme. Like,
You're 19. No, you're 19.
Gabe and Aaron are 18. Me and Matt are 16. Alex is 16. No, Matt's 15.
Wait, what?
Matt's a baby.
I'm 15. Yeah.
What a baby.
What?
Yes.
Holy shit. Well, you know what? I'm giving you too hard of a time for not liking black metal. You're gonna grow into it. I promise you.
All right. I mean, I grew into death metal, so it'll come around.
Yeah, man. Shit. I was.
don't worry. Don't worry. When you get older, I have a bedtime too, so it's cool.
And I'm glad that you guys are talking to us like with respect, because a lot of the times people are like, "Oh, these kids are young." Like,
well, no, that's not what it.
Shit.
Okay, so the thing is that's not what it's about. It's, regardless of the following or anything, we want people to know that despite everything that's going, music is still alive, and we have a passion for metal, heavy metal, black metal, death metal, all of it, and like the importance of it is pivotal. People need to know about this stuff, especially from you guys starting up as young as you are and being as passionate as you are and being as driven as you are. You know what I mean? The fact that you're just pushing through and that you all have your own, individuality and you're all coming together and making it fucking work. There's a lot of people that don't fucking do that, and a lot of people they can't fucking do that. They just don't. So y'all got to give yourself some credit for that. And I'm sure y'all do. 30,000 listens. I mean, that's a pretty big fucking following.
Just remember me and Blaine whenever y'all, get y'all platinum albums and shit.
we'll be back here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll do this once a month.
Hell yeah. That's
Yeah,
what I'm talking about.
Yeah, when y'all become the next Metallica, just don't forget about us.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know?
We'll be like, hey guys,
Remember when you came to Mo's house?
where are our shirts, please? We'll pay you.
Got y'all, man. We're definitely not gonna forget about this. We're all very, very, very excited to come and do this.
I was excited. I mean, I'm excited too, man. Like whenever,
was too.
because I contacted y'all first, or was it the other way around?
Wait,
No,
it was Corin.
Corin.
It was-
Yes.
Yeah.
Shout out to Corin McKenna, my nephew. That's my boy. And he was like, "Hey, my buddy Matt wants to be on your podcast." All right. I was like, "Okay, what band?" He's in Void. I was like, "Oh no shit." I was like, "Let's do it. Let's hang it up."
and then Matt was like, "Hey, contact Tales from the Rift, man." I'm like, "Okay." So I started looking at y'all stuff, and then like my brain just like stopped working. I just forgot. Matt would be like, "Hey, did you contact him?" I'm like, "Shit, no."
No, fuck these
like,
guys.
"Hey, did you contact him?" I'm like, "Fuck, no." I did it, and I was like, "Hey, man, we're Void, blah blah blah," and like ever since like I think it was in maybe December,
yeah.
early December that I hit y'all up, and I'm like, "Yeah, we're gonna wait till our EP's out." And y'all like, "Okay, man, take y'all's time." We're like, "No, I want to do this." Like,
No, we want to fucking do this.
we don't have to wait.
Let's talk about the EP.
Yeah, let's do.
So, you recorded it on your own?
We don't know yet. I see.
That sounds scary. We don't know
See,
yet.
we recorded Sanity in our fucking bedrooms.
In my bedroom, we recorded the vocals in my closet, and it was like the most.
It was pieced together.
It was
The
like,
vocals are the only thing that does not sound bad on that track. I'm
Spoken like a true
That's true.
vocalist.
yeah. Okay. I'm talking about like the
Fuck off.
no. Everyone did no. I'm
Jax
gonna
is putting his
rephrase
arm
myself. Everyone did so great on the track. I'm talking about production wise because Gabe EQ'd the song a million fucking times. and
shout out my dad.
The
that
drums
helped
got
us.
really compressed. You can't really hear the bass.
That was my
But-
fault though, because so that whole song was really pieced together with
It was in a
just
time
a
crunch.
ton of different tracks. Like the vocals were recorded in Gabe's bedroom, the guitars were in his dad's studio, the drums. I went to some random dude's house I didn't even know and recorded drums on his drum kit. Hauled all my mics and my mixing board there.
Hey, what if-
recorded
what
it on GarageBand on my Macbook and
What if Mr. Larry's
Jesus.
listening to this right now?
Well, I mean,
Some
I didn't
random
really
dude.
know.
Thank you,
No,
Mr.
no hate,
Larry,
I'm
for
just saying.
everything.
Just a random dude, I didn't even know.
Is it mastered already?
It never
No.
was
Never
mastered.
was.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
like we mastered it, but it sounds the way it sounds because we mastered
But
it.
you know what? The way it sounds, I thought it was purposely, done that way, put out that way
Oh, no.
on Spotify.
The
Because I was like,
guitar-
dude, that's like a totally fucking raw sounding, EP, that song. I was like, dude, this is fucking bad. Like,
I want it raw, but the guitars,
I didn't want
it's
that
like,
raw.
yeah.
I didn't want it that raw.
So raw, it's bleeding.
It's bleeding.
But no, so we're still trying to decide whether we want to get a studio. I want to get a studio. I don't know if anybody here agrees with me, but I feel like we're gonna have a decent amount of money to like put a few hours into the studio to get this EP because it doesn't have to be a 1,000-track album. Like it could just be like 6, 7, 8 songs. And I feel like once we get all those songs like really tight, then if we go to a studio and pay hourly or whatever, then we can do it. And Gabe's like, man, we don't need a studio. We can do it in the bedroom. I'm like, no.
No, I think we do need a studio, but we don't have money. So
Hey, man, after we sell
So
these
buy our shirts.
No, like our shirts sell like wildfire. Like at the beer garden show, they sold out before the show even started, and we got like a ton of money from the shirts. And then we took that money and bought like 1,000 other shirts, and we make those shirts ourselves. And people buy them. Like people go out of their way to buy them. Like we get people asking us from like across the country. And, like we get people from. I had somebody from Australia asking, yo, could you send out a shirt for my boyfriend for Valentine's Day? I'm like, I'm so sorry, I can't. And then, like, we get people from Germany asking. I had a guy call my phone number. I have no clue how he got my phone number. But I got a call, and I was like, hello? And he's like, hey, is this Void?
I don't know about this.
I told y'all about this. Yeah, maybe I didn't, but I was with my dad. My dad will probably tell you about it this weekend. I was just chilling with my dad. And then we were at my dad's friend's house. He's like, "Hey, is this Void?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Can I have a shirt?" And I was like, "Where are you at?" He's like, "Oh, I'm in Germany." I was like, "I'm gonna try to work something out, and I'll get back to you and let you know as soon as possible." And I just forgot about it until I just started talking about it. So I feel like an asshole.
I think if I remember correctly, there was also a guy that DM'd us that was like, "Oh, you have a whole fan club in Italy," and I was like, I was reading this and I was like, "Ain't no way."
Yeah.
Like Italy.
Italy's not real.
Yeah. Oh, and we finally got a guy on one of our posts commenting, "Come to Brazil," because you see that on every single like post from a metal band. It's like, "Come to Brazil."
Yeah, I had an Instagram guy submit on the first episode. He submitted his demo from Brazil, a black metal artist, fucking amazing and talented. I mean, if you're into black metal, that's no snipe at you, buddy.
Yeah,
kind of is.
I'll take it.
But nah, he hit me up too, man. It's like he's like, "I like what y'all doing, and you could use my EP however you like." I was like, "Dude, fucking thanks." So I don't know. It's been a few episodes since then, but I was thinking about like maybe using one of his songs as like a outro or something like that, or just kick it around.
Yeah, like South Americans, they know how to make some great metal. Like, Sepultura comes to mind immediately.
Yep. And like you look at all the times that like Iron Maiden has a DVD, Rock in Rio.
Yeah.
I mean the crowds, dude, they just go nuts for metal. I mean it's insane. Yeah. Try to get y'all band down there. See what happens.
One day.
One day we'll come to Brazil.
Do you guys have any crazy super fans yet? Like,
that's interesting.
Do we?
Like I'm talking like super fans, like kind of like looking out your window type.
Like
shit.
like level 5 stalkers.
I mean, I would say
plucking
we have
hairs.
dedicated fans. Like there's this one girl that goes to our shows. Her name escapes me, but she went for our last show. She put Void on her, Elise. Yeah, Elise. She painted Void on her forehead. I wouldn't say we have like crazy fans. We just have cool fans.
There's social medias. Like
we also have a fan page.
Oh yeah, no, we have there's social media accounts that like have like our name, that have like our name and their username, and they just like post about us, and like it's kind of creepy, but like it's cool, I guess. Not really any like crazy super fans, because I mean like we're still pretty small, but I mean, I love seeing dedicated fans. Like if I scroll through my feed, like sometimes like I'll see just people like wearing Void shirts, like nothing related. Like, the post isn't related to the band, and it's like it's a cool shirt.
Yeah.
Like the girl that did our album art for Losing My Sanity, very very great artist. She looks just like James Hetfield. It's very scary. And then she came up on my feed like thanking everybody for 15,000 followers, and she had a Void shirt on. I was like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool. So it's cool to see all that kind of stuff.
So you hear that? We got the right guys in the room, Blaine. We're gonna level up.
Fucking A.
No, we're definitely. I'm excited to promote this, and I want to work together to make this something pretty big.
Hell yeah, man! Shit, I tell everyone, like every guest, like come whenever you want. Like seriously,
trying not to shit myself in excitement.
When the full length comes out, the next EP comes out, shit, we'll promote the fuck out of it. Believe that.
We'll be back.
Yeah, dude.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, definitely. Anytime you guys want.
You gonna make it?
Make it? Yeah, probably, maybe. I don't know. Life, Yeah, this is probably, I don't know, maybe this is probably my third podcast now. We have about 14 now, I think.
Oh, hold on, buddy.
Oh, look, he's going to fucking rub it in my face, too. Look, here.
We got 5. This is 6 yet to be released.
Oh, shit. I don't know. I've lost fucking count.
And you were with John.
Oh, was it John?
Yeah, you was with John here. So it's all good.
I saw y'all did an interview with Kyle from X Hoarder.
Mm-hmm.
That was a pretty
a surreal experience.
That was
man.
Super cool.
I saw it.
Super fucking cool.
Surreal experience. I've been a X Hoarder fan from the jump, man. Like when it it was just
I love Slaughter in the Vatican.
we were talking to Kyle, and we're both just sitting here like biggest smiles on our fucking faces, like just couldn't. We're like
kid in the candy store.
yeah. It's like.
And when we tell you, like, one of the most down to earth people, I was genuinely surprised. He was not pressed for time or anything. He, like, answered questions, and he just, we had a good time.
Yeah, he only got pressed towards the end because he was getting hungry. He was getting hungry. He went to get knee deep in some seafood or something like that. I remember.
Y'all did it with Sammy from Acid Bath.
Yep.
That's really cool too. Like it's crazy because when I was telling them about like the podcast, I was like, these guys have covered X Hoarder and Acid Bath, like two of the greatest Louisiana bands. So I was like, we gotta hop on this, dude. Like that's for me and Matt especially. X Hoarder and Acid Bath, like that. Just to see that people from down here are doing stuff like they're doing, it's really cool to see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it makes you feel like there's a chance at something because like Louisiana is kind of looked at as. Everybody that's not from Louisiana is like, oh, dude, swamps and alligators and blah, blah, blah. But like in jazz and New Orleans.
They think New Orleans first. Yep.
And then like there's like really good musicians that come out of the state. Like some of the best musicians come out of the state. Like Louis Armstrong.
Yep.
Like there's just so many. Like Phil Anselmo.
Mm-hmm.
Lil Wayne.
Jimmy Bauer. I mean, Jimmy Bauer. Everyone.
Isn't
Hey, Lil Wayne's one of the best rappers.
Can't play guitar so much though.
Isn't
he was ripping that.
Isn't Crowbar from Louisiana?
Yeah, I went there.
Yeah, I enjoy Crowbar.
Seen
Crowbar,
that fucking,
they're fun to listen to.
You seen that video of Phil Anselmo where he's like sitting with that fucking dude? He's like, smoke this fucking cigarette. Can you do that?
It was the metal grasshopper.
Yeah,
with Dave Hill.
Fucking awesome.
That was some hilarious shit.
That video is so fucking funny.
All right, we came to the point of the show where we need to know, and there's a shit ton of y'all. So there's 5 of y'all. The house is on fire. You got to make a run for it. You can't leave them. So
you can't look at your phone. No looking at the phone.
I'm not gonna look at my phone.
I hope y'all did your research on this.
Okay.
You know what we're gonna do.
Who's ready?
You know what we're gonna
I
do.
am.
We're
I'm ready.
gonna even do this. We're gonna give each of you 30 seconds.
Oh, okay.
Goddamn, dude.
Yeah, we're gonna fucking pressure it.
Okay, so
All right, 30 seconds.
Go ahead, Matt.
Individual Thought Patterns by Death.
Love it.
October Rust by Typo Negative. Souls of Black by Testament. Ride the Lightning by Metallica.
Yes.
I'm trying to think of more.
15.
Alice in Chains. Dirt by Alice in Chains. X Horror. Southern Skies. I can't remember the full name of that album.
Yeah, I got you.
And that one more, right? Shit.
Like
20.
I guess Morning Rise by Opeth.
Oh, that's good. I like that. That was a good.
I don't know if you can hear it, but I can't even fucking hear it. All right.
Who's next?
Gabe's next.
Gabe, 30 seconds.
Go ahead, Gabe.
All right. Peace Sells. What we got? Van Halen 1.
Mm.
All right. Among the Living, for sure.
Yes.
What do you think?
Never Broke Again by NBA Youngboy.
Yeah, sure.
15.
Heaven and Hell. That's a good album. Hemispheres by Rush. And then this isn't an album, but it is on an album. The second Rachmaninoff Piano Concerto.
That's 6. That's 6.
Yeah. Fucking yeah, like 2 or 3 seconds left. Alex, what do you got?
Rest in Peace and Justice for All. Strange Days.
Putting too much pressure with this time limit.
House is burning.
15 seconds. Your house is on fucking fire.
Intervisions, was that 4?
He's looking through his entire collection.
1984.
You're about to have 3rd-degree burns. You have 3 seconds.
Yeah, let's just go with that. Cocoa Melon.
All right, when we started.
All right.
All right, go, brother.
All right, Rust in Peace, Moving Pictures, Color in the Shape by the Foo Fighters.
Does it burn yet?
No.
Is it
Hasn't
hot?
started yet.
Is it hot?
What other bands do I like? Metallica.
Shit.
And Justice for All.
Yeah, great album.
Great album.
You
You could do it, Aaron. Too.
Among the Living. And one more. Guilty Pleasure. Continuum by John Mayer.
Wait, did you just say John Mayer? Yeah, I love John Mayer. Get the fuck out of here.
Get the fuck out of here.
I love John Mayer.
All right, since we got the
Just fucking with you, man.
since we got the fucking the greatest member in the band, you get 10 seconds.
Yes. I think Gabe's the greatest member.
Lead singer syndrome over there.
All right. Okay. So I gotta say, Black Sabbath by Black Sabbath, Rubber Soul by the Beatles, Kill 'Em All, Ride the Lightning, and the Slim Shady LP.
That's 5. Huh? Is that 5?
Yeah, it's 5. One more.
One more.
We're at 15. We're at 15.
Fabulous Disaster by Exodus.
Good shit. Good
All
shit.
right.
Good shit. Oh, wrong one. It's too late.
Decided to put the pressure on because if your house is on fire, man, you ain't got time to think.
No.
You just got to go run in and grab shit.
First degree burn.
Thankfully, my music is on my phone.
Yeah, that too. But well, your phone gets destroyed. Your phone gets destroyed.
Yeah, I know it's burning.
Cloud.
You know what? The cloud's gonna crash. Okay.
Cloud's
Man.
gonna evaporate.
That's the only thing I could think of.
Huh?
I only said Continuum because, well, I really do like John Mayer. And but it was like the only album I could think of for some reason.
No, and if you guys actually want to go through and like redefine some of your answers, since you were all rushed, if y'all want to go through and like actually think about it, if something comes to mind, y'all go for it.
It's not that deep.
I think I want to redo some of my answers. I think I would put either Reinventing the Steel or Far Beyond Driven by Pantera in there.
He's so mad about it.
so
He's like,
mad
fuck
he
that
had to take that
asshole.
one.
Because like as y'all were going through, I was like, shit, I didn't name Pantera.
That's what I just thought.
Yeah, like Reinventing the Steel. That's a heavily underrated album in my opinion. I feel like people don't talk enough about that album.
Like Cowboys from Hell has no skips on it.
That's
as-
Medicine Man. I don't really remember that song.
Wait, what?
Medicine Man isn't that memorable on Cowboys.
Shut up.
Goo Goo Gaga. Well, Far Beyond Driven's my favorite Pantera album.
was a great album.
Yeah. Give it. You find that shit.
One album that I was thinking before that I forgot is Whitesnake's 1987 album. They're self-titled.
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, bro.
It's one of the best hair metal albums of all.
Period.
The best hair metal album of all times.
My mom actually
Whitesnake,
bought me that album when it came out. I had this little Sesame Street record player. Put that shit on there. It was on. I was in another fucking world.
That's the first time that Sesame Street record player's ever heard some Whitesnake.
Yep.
So not too long. Okay, so I'd say about over quarantine, I kind of took a break from drums. Like I stopped practicing a lot, and the song that got me hooked back onto drums was "Crying in the Rain."
Nice.
by Whitesnake off that album.
And it's still in the nines. That was my shit, boy.
No, I didn't name any. I got a dude Rat. Out of the
Out of
cellar.
the cellar.
Out of the cellar is a great album.
Invasion of Privacy is
Invasion
awesome
of
too.
Privacy.
Yeah. I love the album covers for Rat.
Me too.
They did not suck at all.
It did not suck at all.
They're so awesome. Like, no, dude, they're.
Tony Catan, who was in the video for Whitesnake.
David Coverdale's wife at the time.
Yeah, and she was
Damn, she was bad. Bro.
but she was on the Invasion of Your Privacy record cover.
she
correct?
was.
Yep.
Any
God rest her soul.
Any Skid Row fans in the house?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh yeah.
We played one of their songs.
Slave to the Grind.
Slave to the
Played Slave
Grind.
to the Grind for our Grouse Room show. That was pretty fun.
18
Fuck
in
yeah.
life.
18 in
Finally
life.
had an excuse to play my 5-string.
I love
Killer.
Skid Row.
Yeah,
Fucking right, man.
fucking A.
Dude, this was killer. I'm glad y'all came by.
Yeah, me too.
We got-
Absolutely.
Thank you guys for having
Is
me.
there anything you guys want to go ahead and push before we wrap everything up? Like
Yeah.
just like, anything y'all got upcoming, y'all want to let y'all fans be aware of, or
By
just,
the time this comes out, When do you think it'll be? Like March?
Yeah, it's gonna be March.
All right. Well, we're gonna have a show in May in Houston. Jackson probably knows.
Embrace the Chaos Festival. 6 different thrash metal bands. Going to let you guys break your necks off out in Houston at Satellite. So that's gonna be a whole lot of fun. I'd also really like to shout out all of our Houston boys out there killing it. If you haven't gone and checked them out, you should definitely go do that. They're all over our page. Like, we have them tagged in so much stuff, so please definitely go check those guys out. They're doing what we're doing, and it's awesome to see. They're killing it out there, man.
Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell.
Anybody else?
Yeah, anybody?
Follow us on Instagram.
Yeah, do
What's,
that.
what's that handle?
Void Lafayette.
Void
with an underscore.
Lafayette.
Lafayette.
And follow Tales from the Roof.
That's what I'm talking
Cool.
about.
We didn't even say
Hey.
nothing. Nobody gestured. We didn't even say
Nah,
nothing.
man.
Cool deal. Well, it was a pleasure
You
having
could
all
date
you
my
boys.
sister, Alex.
Awesome, man. No, thank you guys so much.
Yeah,
This
cool.
It was a great time.
a whole lot of fun.
It was great for y'all having us, and thank you, Corin, again for introducing me to Mo.
Yeah. Corin, you're supposed to be here, man. What happened?
Cool deal. All right, well, folks, ladies and gentlemen, stay gnarly. This is Tales from the Riff with Void. Go check these fuckers out and go see them live in fucking May in Houston at that fucking thrash metal fest.
Hell yeah.
Peace the motherfuck out.
Tales